Hey, it's Angel, the hunting gear guy. I wanted to show you guys this Savage Axes. I've done a written review of this thing a while back, but I'm starting to do more YouTube videos, so I wanted to do this one especially because given right now it's September 2014, people are thinking about getting a hunting rifle or maybe even a backup hunting rifle, and the Axis is a really inexpensive rifle. This is the XP version, which means it comes with a scope on it. It is the Axis 1, which means that it doesn't have the AccuTrigger on it. The Axis 2 does come with that AccuTrigger, so if you see it and you think like, hey, I want a half-decent trigger, definitely grab that AccuTrigger version of it. Overall, this is an inexpensive rifle, and that's not a bad thing. You know, a lot of people need an inexpensive rifle, whether they're just getting into the sport or whether they need like a backup rifle or something like that. And having an option like this that's just a little bit over $300 isn't a bad thing. That's putting more accurate rifles out there. A lot of guys who couldn't afford these kinds of rifles would go ahead and get like a military surplus rifle as their first hunting rifle. And this is far, far better than a military surplus rifle like a Mosin Nagant or an Enfield or even an old Mauser. It's accurate. It's chambered in cartridges that are easy to find. It comes equipped with a scope, and it is easy to scope all by itself. A lot of those milsurps aren't. The scope that it comes with isn't anything fantastic. Like, I wouldn't write home about the quality of the scope, but it's usable. And for someone who's just getting into hunting and needs to, you know, do it on a budget, why not? Just keeping the budget conversation going. This is the magazine that Savage debuted on the Axes. It's got a kind of like a spring clip plastic thing here at the front. It's got a metal body, the single stack feed towards the top that feeds through the center but doubles towards the bottom, and a plastic bottom. They've actually opted to go with this style of magazine on more of their rifles now. I don't have a problem with the plastic on it. You know, the plastic's fine. I do have a little bit of a problem about how it fits into the mag well, because it does need to be kind of rocked and locked from the rear forward. And if you don't do that, if you just kind of jam it in there, it can sometimes leave a little bit of a gap at the rear. And I mean, you might say, well, that's only a stupid person would do that, but yeah, you know, you never know what'll happen when you're kind of rushed and trying to make that shot or trying to reload, or you are putting your magazine into your rifle without looking into it. So that kind of stuff can happen. The bolt by itself, great, very easy to run, very slick, no complaints there. The stock is a little bit, I don't know, ugly, I guess. This one's got this pad on here, and it makes it a little bit better, and it's a better cheek piece on it. The finger grooves, take them or leave them. There's some scallops here and there that are a little bit hokey. This plastic trigger, like this is all plastic over here, this trigger guard, all that kind of stuff. Whatever, you know, the rifle's built for a price point. You're not going to find like fine mahoganies or anything like that on this thing. It does have a really thin forend, and it can contact the barrel under pressure, so watch out putting a bipod on this thing and then really loading up on it, because if you press down really hard on the rifle, you will get contact with the barrel, and that can affect accuracy. This particular rifle is chambered in 270, but they've got Axis in pretty much most of your common hunting cartridges, which they'll all do the job for deer and most of your small game, so nothing wrong with it there. To release the bolt, we're going to pull it back, pull on the trigger, and kind of push down on this sear release here and just kind of wiggle it out. There's the pretty standard Savage bolt with a floating bolt head. Again, it's built for making it inexpensive and making a really accurate rifle. This particular rifle, just using factory ammunition, we're getting right around 0.75 inches at 100 yards. So definitely less than 1 MOA, and I found that all of these Savage rifles have been capable of less than 1 MOA at 100 yards. And here's the big difference between this and say like a Remington 783. The Remington 783, I found the quality on the bolts to be definitely hit and miss. Like, and when the misses were big misses. Whereas on the Axes, the bolts have all been great, and they've all functioned 100% on me. So that's something that they've definitely got over the 783. And we've got a thin Sporter Profile barrel here, and we've got a simple 2-position safety. Yeah, you know, a 3-position that would lock the bolts would be fantastic, but you know, who cares? This is again a simple rifle built to a certain price point, and it's meeting a segment of the market that hadn't really been served by this quality of rifle before. Again, those guys were just buying milsurps or they were hunting with a borrowed rifle that wasn't really sighted in, or it was in some nasty old cartridge that you can't buy over the counter. Getting 270, you know, no problem. So would I recommend this rifle? Definitely. You know, for someone who's a new hunter, or someone who needs that secondary rifle on their important hunt, why pay $500 or $700 on a rifle that won't be shot if it's a secondary rifle, and you just need it just in case? Or if it's your first rifle, you know, and maybe you're going to school and your choice is between, you know, feeling comfortable about paying rent or getting an expensive rifle. Feel comfortable. Get a cheap rifle like the Savage Axis. It's not going to do you any wrong. It's going to punch really tight groups at 100 yards, and there's not really a lot you can go wrong with it. Again, built to a price point. This does not compete with high-end Brownings or Remingtons or anything at the upper end of the rifle spectrum. This is just to get in the game, and there's nothing wrong with that.